Hello, this is Grant. Welcome back to Dead Rising 1 Master Run. So, big deal here to actually turn off the ride. It's going to give you a survivor named Greg, who's going to show us a shortcut through the mall. So, Greg's doesn't actually join your party, but rather you follow him. But it's very important that we do this. It makes the run a lot more manageable. We also can grab the small chainsaw, which we're going to be using for the entire game after this point. You can get 3 books to make them last basically as long as you're going to need, especially if you grab 2. And they do a lot of damage. We also need to go pick up the Japanese tourists over here.
Fantastic.
Here I just take an outtake photo where when he calls you over, he'll get a little pee-pee thing above his head. No count. I ended up deciding I'm okay with only 1 chainsaw since I'll be coming back here plenty of times. If you grab 2 and all 3 books, you basically will never need another weapon. It can be important to get the books because the chainsaw does not spawn in overtime mode. So if you want it there, you have to bring it there from the main game. So these are 2 Japanese tourists that for some reason decided to come to this mall. I wish I knew in the world view, like, how big is this mall? How big is the town? That's for all I know. If this is supposed to be kind of a Mall of America type deal, maybe it would make sense they could come here. Or maybe there's interesting stuff around. Don't know. Wish they went into that. They have some really good dialogue here, though. I like it. All you need to do is there's a book right next to them that lets you speak conversational Japanese. And once they join the party, you don't need it anymore. So anyway, the other thing we need here is the criminal biography book, which increases the durability of all bladed weapons. The other 2 we need are over in Paradise Plaza, so we'll pick those up on our way back. Like I said in the last video, you can actually take these guys into the Adam the Clown fight. He basically just ignores them, and they can just do some nice chip damage. They have unlimited ammo, so if you just entertain him, he'll slowly die.
What are you doing?
Makes it a little bit easier, but honestly, with that other strategy, if you have guns, it's pretty trivial to take out Adam.
I'll get you back. I appreciate that.
Here I forget that you can actually take a photo of them there. I want to say it's about 10,000 PP, so it would have been nice. I would have leveled up.
Follow me.
Oh well. There's a lot to remember going to these runs, and if it's late when I'm recording, it's very easy to forget, oh yeah, I had to do that. So hopefully Greg's not dying when we come back here. It looks like he's doing okay. Fortunately, the AI doesn't love to work with me on this one. The next few minutes is a lot of just getting them to do what I want. To be fair, it'd be a lot better if I actually gave these guys weapons, because they can kill zombies then, and it's much easier just to let them go do their own thing.
Ray, come on. Follow me.
Because the other issue with the small chainsaw is while it's great for mobbing, say, like killing just like generic zombies around, it does so much damage that you don't want to hit a survivor with it. So like this thing here, since I don't have a queen, it's kind of hard to take out the zombies without killing them. Especially when I don't have any good moves. As you level up and have some nice martial art moves, it's much simpler. Particularly things like the football charge, tackle. They don't really hurt survivors, so you can just do it straight into the crowd, and the survivor should get up before the zombies. But yes, Shinji's taking quite the beating here. There's not a lot of food in Wonderland, so I decided I'll just give him orange juice in Paradise. It is risky. I could have really regretted this. Finally gave him weapons just so it's not going to be as bad. I don't know if you can give Greg weapons or even food because he's not technically in your party yet. He's just doing his own thing. Some survivors with shotguns are just, I wish they would follow me around all the time. I thought about seeing like if there was a nice little way to just have 8 survivors around with you the whole time, all with guns, and just seeing how useful that would be. The main issue would be that there's only 8 survivors that can be allowed in the mall at any given time. If you have that many and there's a scoop that would cause a knife to appear, it just will not register until you either kill someone or return to the safe room. So, in that mind, you wouldn't be able to do a lot of game's content. But the main characters are exempt, so you could still go fight Carlito and stuff. There's a lot more I'd like to do with this game and see just what you can do in these really like outline cases. Like I was thinking, I've never gone to the butcher's meat processing area before I needed to fight him. I wonder if that's unlocked. I have no idea. I don't think there'd be any reason to go down there. In fact, the only reason there is at all is to get his cleaver, which you get for killing him. But the weapon's not as good as, say, the machete, or obviously the small chainsaw. I haven't used it frequently, but maybe, like, say, if it didn't exist, like the small chainsaw that is, then maybe that would be my go-to. So this is something I didn't find out till later, but as long as they're in the bathroom, like past this little segment, then they're good to go for the transition. So they can be all the way in the back, which I didn't know, because if you put a waypoint in the back, they get in here a lot easier. I can't believe it took me this long to figure it out, because that's always been a terrible part of the run, is getting them to get all the way in the bathroom. Here we have some other issues. I don't want to hate on Dead Rising's AI. Because one, it's almost a feature. Because if survivors could easily navigate zombies, there wouldn't be much of a game. If you could just say, go over there and forget about them, kind of ruin the point. Also, it's really hard to do pathfinding. The game doesn't know what you want. And trying to get a survivor that can go anywhere to pick an optimal path is very difficult. Particularly on corner cases like stairs. I don't know how they handle vertical movement. So, like, they may only look at me in a XY direction. So they don't, if I want to get them to move up, to them it's the same thing. Which is, I think, the issue here, where they're trying to go in a straight line, and they don't understand how the stairs work. It would be nice if they incorporate some other things, though, where a survivor could, like, lock onto a certain path. Stuff like when you take them onto the rooftop right before the security room, there's no zombies there. So it'd be nice if, when you told them to go anywhere out there, they would just go an optimal approach and they would all get in order so they wouldn't bunch up like they do now. It seems really weird that that wasn't fixed, because anyone who's played this game would have to have dealt with that. I mean, it might have just been a time constraint, but it does seem kind of like a thing you would want to fix if I were making a game. So I think in these next few videos, I actually pick up and get one of my other controllers that works far better. Disappointing though, because the one I'm using right now is custom. I painted. It's a great red. I got metal thumbsticks, silver buttons, silver painted buttons. They're not actual silver. Maybe YouTube will pay me enough one day I can get legitimately silver buttons. But yeah, I really love that controller. I've always wanted to get custom and get paint stuff. So doing that was like a really fun project. I'm looking forward to painting this one here too. I have to also recommend metal thumbsticks. Those things are outstanding. If I don't have one dislike, it's that it's a little weird to pick up your controller and have the thumbsticks be cold. But other than that, like, they're nice, responsive, they feel great. You get a way better, like, grip on them. I love them. It's also pretty easy to change. Man, I can't tell you. When I was making the Psycho videos for the Butcher, I was messing around and I thought, you know, what if I take the weapon cart from Sean's Grocery down into the Butcher? Maybe he'll have some weird interaction. Now, every time you roll, though, you drop it. So, as someone who would roll every few seconds at the worst, I cannot tell you how angry I was getting at myself for not just changing controllers already. I have this issue though where like, I don't know which controllers of mine work. There's a lot that, oh, the thumbstick's terrible, or the range. So I have like 4 here, but I want to say only 2 of them are good enough to play with. The other one, the one that was having the stick issues, I'm pretty sure I could just open up and clean. I think the issue is that by painting it and putting in metal sticks, it wasn't designed for that, so the metal can kind of grind off the paint. If you had either of those like separate, like just metal sticks, you'd be fine, or just painting it. But that particular combo means that they get this like fine little dust, and I think that's the issue. Which if I opened it up and I cleaned it, it'd be fine. I mean, I also have like soldering equipment, so I might just replace the stick itself, because you can get them for like $1, 90 cents, $1 on Amazon, and then you just have to unsolder and resolder. But I mean, I don't want to also potentially ruin the controller by messing up that job. I would like to replace the LEDs though. It's the same process. So this is a great, well-acted scene. I think this is one of the best scenes that introduces Brad and kind of what his character's like and their relationship together. This is like classic stuff you would talk about like in English class. Like, see how the soda represents their agreement and how he's using it to say, okay, I accept you now, and how he just wanted Frank to come over to talk to him about it. He didn't really need help.
You all right there?
I mean, in a way, he did carry this the whole way there from the mall and crawled around in a vent, in theory. Whenever I see cutscenes like this or just walking through, one of those boxes next to Jesse has a orange warning sign and has a shark on it for some reason. No idea why that is. In fact, there's a lot of things I don't quite get. I'll have to talk about sometime. Just weird little details on the small objects.